Can Allan provide the much-needed stability to Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool? Hello everyone and welcome to the What If League. Today I'm doing an experiment where Brazilian midfielder Allan is transferred from Italian club Napoli to Liverpool for £40 million. This is an experiment that is triggered by some rumors that are circulating in the media that Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool are in for Brazilian midfielder Allan. And the amount that I have decided for the transfer is a sum that is also being reported by some media outlets. The transfer has been made in the middle of February, which means that most probably Allan is not going to be eligible to play in the Champions League or in the Premier League. He would only be able to play in the domestic cup competitions. So I'm now going to fast forward until the end of this season to see what happens. And after that, we're going to look 3 more years into the future and see how Allan affects his new team at Anfield. Okay, the date is 2nd of June 2018 and the Premier League has been won by Manchester City with 87 points, which is 8 more than second place Manchester United. Chelsea and Liverpool completed the top 4. Liverpool finished the season in 4th position with 70 points, which was 2 more than 5th place Arsenal and 3 more than Tottenham in 6th position. Looking at Liverpool, we can see that Jurgen Klopp is still their manager, so apparently this was satisfying to their board. Let's have a look at the tactics screen. The tactics employed probably in the final game of the season was 4-3-2-1 with a defensive midfielder, and let's have a look at Allan and how did he fare in his new surroundings. He played 1 game in the EuroCup, which is the Europa League. He came on as a substitute and also he came on twice in the FA Cup as a substitute. His overall average rating is not that impressive. So let's have a look now at the schedule for Liverpool since his arrival and what happened there. So here he is in the FA Cup. Europa League started and they had a game against Sporting. He did not play in that game. Then going back, there was a game against Villarreal. He did not play in that game as well. Afterwards, they lost against Villarreal and were knocked out. I don't see him playing here as well, so this is quite surprising. I'm not sure where exactly did he play, but it was not against Villarreal apparently. In the FA Cup, I also do not see he. Oh, actually, there he is. He came in as a substitute against Arsenal in this victory. He came on in the 52nd minute, which means that he was on the field when Roberto Firmino scored the winning goal. So that's good on him. And afterwards, they went to play a semi-final against Charlton. He did not play in this game, but let's see then what happened in the final, which they lost unfortunately against Chelsea after extra time. And we can see that he played there, but he got injured in the process. Quite unfortunate for Allan, not the best first season, actually first few months at Liverpool. Hopefully he is going to have more luck in the next 3 seasons. Now I'm going to fast forward 3 seasons into the future so that we can see how Allan performs for his new team. Here we are, here is 2021 and we are back in the Premier League. First off, we start with the season where Manchester City were champions in 2018. Then in the next year, Manchester United claimed the title with 99 points, very dominant performance there. Chelsea, Tottenham and Arsenal completed the top 4. Liverpool were left out in 5th position, but 1 point above Manchester City. So a very big slump in form from Manchester City there. Year after that, Manchester City reclaimed the title with 84 points, 1 more than second place Tottenham. Manchester United and Arsenal completed the top 4, while Liverpool dropped to 6th position. And in the final season, Manchester United were champions again with 84 points, 1 more than second place Liverpool, who bounced back to the Champions League, providing places. Manchester City and Chelsea completed the top 4. Now, looking at Liverpool's screen, we can see that their manager now is Jorge Jesus, which means that Jurgen Klopp was sacked. Let's have a look at that. Indeed, after the end of the season 2019-2020, he was sacked and Jorge Jesus was brought to replace him. Let's look at the tactic screen at Liverpool. We can see a lot of new names here. Mario Mandzukic, we see also Rodolfo Pizarro here. We can see Matija Nastasic at center back. And Alban Lafont is the new goalkeeper, while Ben Woodburn is actually now the main striker of the team. So he has developed quite a good player. You can see his stats. He's very impressive. And I don't see Allan anywhere here. So let's have a look what happened with Allan. Is he still in the Liverpool team? No, he's not. He has already been sold to Bournemouth. So this is quite interesting. He has been sold to Bournemouth in the previous season for £31 million. He did not play very well for Liverpool at all. In his first full season, he only managed to play in 22 games, out of which he scored 2 goals, managed to add 3 assists to his name with an average rating of 7.05. And apparently that was not enough to convince Jurgen Klopp to keep him. So he decided to sell him to Bournemouth, where he performs marginally better, I would say. Not really impressive as well, in an even weaker team. Apparently Allan does not make the switch to the English Premier League very well, and he did not impress at Liverpool, neither did he impress at Bournemouth. Now let's have a look at Liverpool transfers in these 3 seasons. Starting off season 2017-18, of course, Allan was the only transfer. Then in the next year, Naby Keita, which was an arranged transfer, joined Anfield, and Luan was brought from Grêmio for £17.75 million. In the outgoing section, Ragnar Klavan was sold. We can see also that Sadio Mane was sold to Real Madrid for £70 million. Solanke joined Newcastle on loan. And what else? John Flanagan was sold to Newcastle. Joel Matip joined Real Madrid for £56 million. This is very, very interesting transfer here. Year after that, Rodolfo Pizarro was brought from Chivas. Ruben Neves was purchased from Wolverhampton for £40 million, while Matija Nastasic was brought from Schalke Gelsenkirchen. Mario Mandzukic came from Juventus. Joseph Olovu, I'm not familiar with that name. He is apparently an Arsenal graduate. Indeed, he's a central defender and not a really good one, to be honest, and I don't think this player will develop quite nicely. Willian Cyprien from Nice, I'm not familiar with that guy. He's a defensive midfielder, also capable to play in the center of the midfield as well as attacking midfielder. He looks quite nice, and I think he played much more than Allan did, to be honest. Okay. Thomas Delaney also came from Werder Bremen. Ivailo Chochev was brought from Palermo, the Bulgarian attacking midfielder. In the outgoing section, Danny Ings was sold to Newcastle. Roberto Firmino joined Manchester City for staggering £83 million. Allan, this could not be the same Allan. This is another Allan, of course. This is Liverpool's existing player Allan, who was sold, who actually went on a free transfer to Braga. I'm quite surprised because his stats are not that bad, and I would expect for Liverpool to give him a chance at least, but that was not the case. Marko Grujic was sold to Stuttgart. Allan, as we already saw, went to Bournemouth. Ryan Kent was sold to Brighton, and the rest of these were loans. In the final season, Samu Castillejo came from Paris Saint-Germain. Alban Lafont was brought on a free transfer from Toulouse. João Cardoso came from Maritimo. This is a regen player, a left fullback. He has good stats, and he has a lot of potential to develop into a great player. We'll see how this happens. Actually, I don't think we'll see, since this experiment I would count as unsuccessful, and most probably I'm not going to make second part of it. Alejandro Chumacero or Cumacero, I'm not sure, from Cruz Azul came. He is a 13-year-old at the year 2021, of course. He's a right midfielder. Came from Cruz Azul. On the other hand, we see that Danny Ward was sold to Brentford, Emre Can was sold to Juventus, Loris Karius to Valencia, Ivailo Chochev to Hertha, and Harry Wilson went on loan to Brighton. Now, switching our attention to the English Cup competitions and the FA Cup first, Chelsea, Manchester City, Tottenham and Leicester were victorious in the last 4 seasons of the oldest football competition in the world. Liverpool did not manage to claim any of those trophies in the last 4 years. Then the Carabao League Cup, where Bournemouth won the first one, then Tottenham, Arsenal and Manchester United were victorious in the League Cup in England. Again, no trophies for Liverpool there. Now let's have a look at the European competitions and what happened in these 4 years. First off is the Europa League, and in the first season Napoli were champions of the Europa League after defeating Dynamo Kiev 3-0 in the final. Napoli also eliminated Olympique Lyon, Villarreal and Arsenal on their way to the trophy, while we saw that Liverpool were defeated by Villarreal. Season after that, Liverpool lost actually the Europa League final on penalties against Monaco. Liverpool managed to eliminate Inter Milan, Borussia Mönchengladbach and Besiktas to that final, only to lose to the Monegasques, who on the other hand eliminated their compatriots Olympique Lyon in the semi-final, Benfica in the quarters and Sporting Clube de Portugal in the second knockout round. Season 2019-20, Milan were victorious after beating Athletic Bilbao 2-1. They eliminated Manchester City, Napoli and Roma on their way to the trophy, while Liverpool eliminated Bayer Leverkusen in the second knockout round, only to be beaten by Manchester City in the quarterfinal. And in the final season, Olympique Lyon won the Europa League after defeating Valencia 2-0 in the final. They managed to beat Inter, Schalke Gelsenkirchen and Olympique Marseille on their way to the trophy. That was played at the final game was played at the Cube Stadium. Liverpool eliminated Bayer Leverkusen in the second knockout round, Basel in the quarterfinal, only to be beaten by Valencia in the semi-finals in that year. Moving 1 year up to the Champions League, first season Tottenham won surprisingly the Champions League after beating Roma 2-0 in the final. They eliminated Bayern Munich, Manchester United and Red Bull Salzburg on their way to that trophy. Year after that, Valencia were victorious after beating Barcelona in extra time in the final 2-1. They also eliminated Manchester United on away goals in the semi-final, Juventus in the quarters and Milan in the second knockout round. In the third season, Juventus won on penalties against Barcelona in the final. Before that, they beat Manchester United, Valencia and Paris Saint-Germain. And in the final season, Paris Saint-Germain won the European Champions League after beating Real Madrid in the final that was played at Atatürk Olympia Stadion. Paris Saint-Germain also eliminated their compatriots Monaco in the semi-final, Arsenal and Manchester City before that. Now looking at the World Player of the Year awards, Eden Hazard won this award in 2018 with Luis Suarez and Cristiano Ronaldo in second and third place respectively. 2019 the award went to Felipe Coutinho from Barcelona, Lionel Messi and Eden Hazard were second and third. And in the final year 2020, Eden Hazard claimed the award with Antoine Griezmann in second place and Felipe Coutinho in third. So just to summarize, Allan did not have the best of times at Liverpool and he apparently does not shine too brightly at Bournemouth as well. With that, I think this is enough for this video. I think this is an unsuccessful experiment when it comes to Allan's performance at Anfield. But it is what it is. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already for my channel. That way you're going to receive notifications for when I upload new videos. In the meantime, you can also check out my social media. Links will be provided in the description below. Let me know what do you guys think about this experiment and what would you like to see next. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Thank you again for watching. Until the next time, bye.